Black Americans are one of the most privileged people in the world, and we have to talk about it more.
Black people are so privileged. No, they're not.
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here, and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing today? Hope you guys are doing great. So this video is the part 2 of the video I posted previously. So if you haven't seen that video, go check out that video so you get a full content and also get the Black Americans or Black people's reaction to the situation and to this video. So this video, we're going to see white TikTokers respond to this video. So this video is a video of a white European Caucasian man who came on TikTok to talk about how Black privilege is, how Black Americans are one of the most privileged people, and he went on to talk about how Black Americans can get, or Americans in all can get, $600 for welfare, and try to compare it with $300 wages in Egypt and other parts of the world. Anyway guys, I need you guys to see this video so you guys have context of what these white TikTokers are responding to.
Black Americans are one of the most privileged people in the world, and we have to talk about it more. Here's the average salary in Mexico, in Ukraine, in Egypt, in Vietnam, all big countries with huge economies from different continents. And here is average welfare check in USA. You see the difference? People all over the world have to work hard for this money, while people in America are getting more for doing absolutely nothing, just because they are born in the United States. Isn't that a privilege? Being richer than others just because of your birthright? Yes, it is. Oh, and just to be clear, it concerns all Americans, not just Black Americans. All Americans are privileged as hell, and it's about time we acknowledge that Black Americans are no exception. Now just imagine being born in Harlem, New York, one of the richest cities in the world, in one of the richest countries in the world, and complaining about not being able to get out of the ghetto, while some Middle Eastern refugee has to smuggle himself to America illegally in a cargo bay of the ship, not having home, not having money, not having citizenship, just to get the slightest chance at life that you had since birth. Oh, and he's running from his country because your country destroyed his home, by the way. And he still somehow manages to open up his own business so he can provide for his kids. And you can't get out of the ghetto, really? Man, maybe take a subway? And please, don't give me that excuse about America being racist. Here's the list of richest households in the United States by ethnicity. White people are not even in top 5. It's Indians, Filipinos, Taiwanese, Sri Lankan, Japanese, and then some. How could they all be so prosperous if the country is so racist? Look, America is literally the least racist country in the world. Can you name any other dominantly white country that had black president for 2 terms in a row? No, you can't, because I can guarantee you the rest of the world is actually racist as hell. You're living in the paradise of political correctness. Oh, and it might seem like I'm talking to Black Americans here, but I'm not. I know that majority of Black Americans don't even care about it all. I'm talking to crazy Americans. I'm talking to Americans who actually believe that their country is some racist, villainous hellhole that oppresses people. It's not. Look, your country is alright, I promise. So yeah, you had slavery. Who didn't? Now really, tell me, who didn't? So you have racists in your country, and who doesn't? No, really, name a single country without racists. I'll wait. Stop focusing on yourself so much. This is destructive narcissistic tendency that destroys your country. You have 2 kind of whack jobs in USA. First kind thinks that you can invade any other country in the world because you're force of good. And another kind thinks that you can appropriate culture and history of any other country in the world and paint it black because you're the force of evil and you have to constantly atone for your sins before black people. Well, guess what? You don't get to do any of those things. Keep your greedy hands off Middle Eastern oil and European history. Oil is black, white history figures are not. You're not villains, but you're not heroes either. You're just regular people. Just regular people who are born into insane privilege the rest of the world can only dream of. And that's exactly why.
This got a lot of people talking, but in this video we're going to hear white TikTokers, white people talk and react to this statement and this video this man posted. If you haven't seen the Black people's reaction, go check the previous video so you catch up to it. So let's go hear what the white people think about this statement.
Black Americans are one of the most privileged people in the world, and we have to talk about it more.
This has got to be one of the most dog water takes that I've ever seen on this app, so I'm gonna deconstruct it for you. First of all, the argument that people on welfare make more than other people in different countries who aren't on welfare, yeah, because the cost of living in the US right now is ridiculous. Somebody with a full-time job working minimum wage in this country oftentimes cannot afford to eat. Why are they complaining about living in the ghetto? Because living in the ghetto is horrible. It's over-policed, underfunded, people within it are over-incarcerated, drugs are forcibly implanted into the communities, like the massive conspiracy of the war on drugs. Like, what? But let's talk about some of the privileges that Black people have in the US. Over-incarceration, over-policing, police brutality, the school-to-prison pipeline, the prison industrial system, underfunded education, housing discrimination, loan discrimination, hiring discrimination, having to deal with white supremacy, having crimes committed against them be, on average, less looked into, having their political leaders get assassinated over and over again. Systemic racism, critical race theory are just some of the many privileges that African Americans face in the US. Yes, what's happening in the Middle East is horrific, and yes, a lot of the times in foreign countries, US sanctions or involvement has led to terrible things for the civilians in those countries. Nobody is denying that, but that has nothing to do with the discrimination and racism that Black people in America face every single day. Like, they're trying to reinstate Jim Crow laws in the South. Are you kidding? Not to mention having to deal with creators like you get online to spout utter nonsense all the time of concepts that they don't understand, which only leads to more discrimination that these people face because all of your fans turn around and say, Black people are so privileged. No, they're not.
Black Americans are one of the most privileged people in the world, and we have to talk about it more.
I understand where you're coming from, and as someone that works with impoverished villages around the world, I wouldn't compare my standard of life to theirs. When I work with them, I'm grateful for what I have, but I'm not going to say, well, if a person in Egypt makes $582, that's going to be my standard. In America, that doesn't get you anything. You can't rent, you can't eat with that, you can't feed your family, you can't provide for anything. So there's a very big difference in comparing the countries you listed were Vietnam, Mexico, Ukraine, Egypt. I mean, those are not at the same level. You're not required in any of these countries to spend $600, $800 a month just to have healthcare. That concept doesn't exist there the way it does over here. The way you need to look at it is minimally you need about $30,000 to $35,000 to just survive in this country. So it's apples and oranges. It's just not the same.
Black Americans are one of the most privileged people in the world, and we have to talk about it more.
That entire video is cringe. But I felt it was a good time to remind you that in the past 3 years, the DOJ has arrested U.S. citizens and Russian intelligence officers who would go onto social media platforms and be paid to sow discord, be paid to make people upset, and to disrupt social justice movements. So, take that as you will. Because that's one of them. That's one of them.
Black Americans are one of the most privileged people in the world, and we have to talk about it more.
I wish Europeans would just shut up about race issues in America. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. You're saying nonsense to anything that what is being talked about here in America. I'm a straight white American male, so I'm one of the most privileged people on the planet. But even I realize that that take is moronic. Like, how are you going to sit there and say that if you haven't taken the time to learn anything about American history, actually learn about it? Because if you did, you wouldn't be having that take. So Europeans really need to shut the fuck up when it comes to politics in the U.S. Mind your own damn business.
Black Americans are one of the most privileged people in the world, and we have to talk about it more.
Let me tell you a little secret, how privileged do you think you are thinking that you can speak for a community that obviously you do not belong in and speaking on issues that you absolutely have no idea and you're ignorant about? If you want to talk about privilege and hardworking Americans, yeah, check your privilege, boy, because you have no idea what the hell is going on in this country. So shut your mouth and get educated. Like I'm telling you, like the only similarities between me and you that we share is skin tone. but I don't have the audacity of putting a nose on a business that I do not belong in. And heck, I'm not even Anglo-Saxon in ancestry. So shut up!
Black Americans are one of the most privileged people in the world.
Shut idolatry, European Chris Hemsworth. I swear to God, you give a moderately attractive person any big words and suddenly they think they know something. You talking about much as you have split ends, baby. That's a lot of it. How about you don't talk about things you know nothing about, sweetie? Considering you don't even live here, honey. Considering you ain't even a minority here, baby. Maybe mind your damn business, stay in your lane, maybe worry about the EU, the status of the euro. Can't quite tell where your accent's from. Sounds very Eastern European to me. Last I checked, y'all don't have a good history of race relations. So maybe focus on that ratsness of a beard you got, baby. Because judging by it, you ain't put beard oil in a very long time. And it's over there looking like a frazzled Shar-Pei on a southern summer day. Just parched. There's your heart, honey.
Let me know down in the comment section, do you think that Black Americans are one of the most privileged people in the world? Please go ahead and share your thought down in the comment section. But please do it respectfully. You don't have to disrespect anybody for you to air your opinion. So please, let's be respectful down in the comment section, okay? Here is my thought on this video, which I've shared my thought a lot on the first video because, hey, I'm a black queen, so I'm going to just really pour my heart on that on the previous video. So go check out that video so you catch up with some of the things I said in that video. But for me, clearly this man does not know what he's talking about. He's a white Caucasian man. He can never relate to the struggles of black people and even black Americans. And secondly, he's not even in America. Why speak on community he's not part of, and he's not even in the country, and he refused to let people in the country and people are there to educate him? Because I feel like anybody like me, I'm not in America. I've never been to America before, but I create content around America, but that's because I want to learn, and a lot of you guys here on my channel have come here to educate me on different things, and I really do appreciate that. So I really want to speak on things and issues of a community or people that you are not part of. Then you should allow those people to educate you so that when you speak on it, you speak fact, not just assumption or all in your feelings. And then lastly, I didn't like the fact that he was picking back on what he was saying. I think because he was just trying being careful on social media so that they don't drag him. When him saying that I'm not talking about just the black Americans, I'm talking about Americans in general. Like, really, dude, really. Anyway, guys, please share your thoughts in the comment section because, hey, that's what we do here. We have conversations, so feel free, go ahead and share your thoughts down in the comment section. But please do it respectfully. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we have here, people. Conversation, all right? Please give this video a thumbs up, like this video, because this helps YouTube to push up my content, and that will be you supporting your girl. So please smash the like button. If you want to support your girl, you can smash the thank you button and just give your girl whatever you want to. And you can also join the membership. Like, hey, I know there's no perks here to the membership, but I'm working on that. But that's another way for you supporting your girl. With that all said, guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.